Capitalism vis socialism vis communism. Capitalism, socialism, and communism are three distinct economic and political ideologies that propose different approaches to the ownership and distribution of resources, the role of the state, and the organization of society. Capitalism advocates for private ownership of the means of production, free markets, and minimal state intervention, emphasizing individual initiative and competition as drivers of economic growth and innovation. Socialism, on the other hand, seeks to balance collective and individual interests by advocating for public ownership or regulation of essential services and industries to ensure equitable distribution of wealth and access to resources. Communism, the most radical of the three, envisions a classless society where all property is communally owned, abolishing private ownership and aiming for complete economic equality. Each ideology presents a unique vision for achieving social justice, economic efficiency, and human development, reflecting differing beliefs about the nature of freedom, equality, and the role of government in shaping societal outcomes. Capitalism. Capitalism is a prominent economic system that revolves around the principles of private ownership and market-driven exchange. At its core, capitalism asserts that the means of production, such as factories, machinery, and businesses, should be owned and controlled by private individuals or corporations rather than the state. This system is grounded in the belief that allowing individuals to own property and enterprises creates a more dynamic and efficient economy, driven by competition and the pursuit of profit. In a capitalist economy, the market plays a central role in determining the allocation of resources. Prices for goods and services are established through the forces of supply and demand, which means that the market itself decides what is produced, how it is produced, and for whom it is produced. This decentralized approach contrasts sharply with systems where the government or central authority dictates economic activity. The capitalist model relies on the idea that individual self-interest, when guided by competition, leads to innovation, improved products, and overall economic growth. The profit motive is a fundamental aspect of capitalism. Businesses operate with the primary goal of generating profit for their owners or shareholders. This drive for profit incentivizes entrepreneurs to seek out new opportunities, develop novel products and services, and enhance efficiency. As companies compete with one another, they are compelled to reduce costs, improve quality, and adopt new technologies to maintain their market positions. This relentless pursuit of profit often leads to significant advancements and economic progress. Capitalism also values private property rights, which grant individuals the freedom to acquire, use, and dispose of property as they see fit. These rights are considered essential for fostering investment and economic activity. When individuals are confident that their property and investments are protected by law, they are more likely to engage in entrepreneurial ventures and contribute to the economic growth. Private ownership of property allows for personal control over resources and can lead to the accumulation of wealth, which in turn fuels further investment and economic development. One of the critical features of capitalism is its limited government intervention in economic affairs. The capitalist system advocates for minimal state interference, allowing market forces to drive economic outcomes. The role of the government is typically confined to enforcing legal frameworks, protecting property rights, and ensuring a competitive market environment. However, the extent of government involvement can vary. In some capitalist economies, there may be regulatory measures to address market failures, such as antitrust laws to prevent monopolies or environmental regulations to mitigate negative externalities. While capitalism has demonstrated significant strengths, including fostering innovation, improving living standards, and creating economic opportunities, it is not without its criticisms. One major concern is income inequality. Capitalism can lead to substantial disparities in wealth and income, as those who succeed in the market accumulate significant resources, while others may struggle to compete. This inequality can result in social and economic divides, prompting debates about the fairness and sustainability of the capitalist system. Additionally, capitalism's focus on profit can sometimes come at the expense of social and environmental considerations. The drive for profitability may lead to practices that prioritize short-term gains over long-term sustainability or social welfare. Issues such as environmental degradation, labor exploitation, and economic instability can arise from the pursuit of profit without adequate safeguards. Socialism. Socialism is an economic and political system where the means of production, such as factories, land, and resources, are owned and controlled collectively by the society or the state, rather than by private individuals or corporations. This system is rooted in the belief that wealth and resources should be distributed more equally among all members of society to ensure fairness and reduce disparities. Socialism advocates for public ownership and democratic control of essential services and industries, such as healthcare, education, transportation, and utilities, to ensure that these services are accessible to everyone, regardless of their financial status. In a socialist system, the government typically plays a significant role in economic planning and decision-making to allocate resources efficiently and meet the needs of the population. This can include implementing policies that provide social welfare programs, such as unemployment benefits, housing assistance, and universal health care, aimed at reducing poverty and improving the quality of life for all citizens. The ultimate goal of socialism is to create a more just and equitable society, where wealth and opportunities are shared more broadly, eliminating the extreme inequalities often seen in capitalist systems. Socialism can take various forms, ranging from democratic socialism, where democratic political systems coexist with socialist economic policies, to more authoritarian models where the state exerts greater control over all aspects of life. Historical examples of socialist countries include the former Soviet Union and current socialist states like Cuba and North Korea, though these have often implemented socialism in ways that include significant state control and limited personal freedoms, leading to debates about the true nature of socialism in these contexts. In contrast, many modern socialist movements advocate for a more democratic and participatory approach, emphasizing the importance of political freedoms and civil rights alongside economic equality. These movements often support mixed economies, where both public and private sectors coexist, and focus on achieving social justice through progressive taxation, social safety nets, and regulations that curb corporate power and protect workers' rights. The debate over socialism continues to be a significant and contentious issue in global politics, with supporters arguing that it offers a humane and sustainable alternative to capitalism, while critics contend that it can lead to inefficiencies, lack of innovation, and restrictions on individual freedoms. Communism. Communism is a political and economic ideology that advocates for a classless society in which all property and resources are collectively owned, eliminating private ownership. The core principle of communism is the establishment of a system where the means of production, such as factories, land, and machinery, are owned by the community as a whole, rather than by individuals or corporations. This system aims to achieve absolute economic equality, ensuring that all members of society have equal access to the wealth and resources produced by the collective effort. The theoretical foundation of communism was laid out by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels in the 19th century, particularly in their seminal work, The Communist Manifesto. They envisioned a society where the working class, or proletariat, would overthrow the ruling class, or bourgeoisie, in a revolution, leading to the dissolution of class structures and the creation of a stateless, classless society. In such a society, the government, if it exists at all, would be responsible for managing resources and distributing them based on need, with the ultimate goal of rendering itself obsolete as true communism is realized. In practice, communism has often been associated with the establishment of one-party states, where the Communist Party controls all political and economic aspects of society. Historical examples include the Soviet Union under leaders like Lenin and Stalin, Maoist China, and contemporary North Korea. These regimes typically implemented centrally planned economies, where the state directed all economic activity, including production, distribution, and pricing of goods and services. While these systems aimed to eliminate class distinctions and provide for all citizens, they often resulted in authoritarian governance, suppression of political dissent, and economic inefficiencies. Communism's emphasis on collective ownership and equal distribution contrasts sharply with capitalism's focus on private ownership and market competition. Proponents argue that communism addresses the inherent inequalities and exploitation found in capitalist systems, providing a more just and equitable society. However, critics contend that communism can lead to a lack of incentives for productivity and innovation, as well as significant restrictions on personal freedoms and political rights. The debate over communism remains a deeply polarizing issue in global politics. While the ideal of a classless, stateless society continues to inspire some, The historical experiences of communist states have led many to question the feasibility and desirability of achieving such a system in practice. Thanks for watching. Subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon.